second piece of news is obviously the Devers trade. Devers was slashing 271, 400, and 494 while leading the majors in walks with 55. His issue with the front office in Boston, it's been well documented. So let's just move on to the question of, will this be another trade blunder for the Red Sox, a franchise that foolishly traded away Mookie Betts, Jeff Bagwell, Kurt Schilling in the 80s, and some guy named George Herman Ruth? Is this going to go down in the record books for them, and not in a good way?
It's tough to say, because from a business perspective, it is the right move. It's terrible from a PR perspective and for winning in the next 1 to 3 years, even specifically this year. I mean, you just swept the Yankees at home. You just got your record back above 500. Vibes finally seem good. You've got all the kids in the big leagues. And now you just pissed off your entire fan base by trading the franchise player. Now, obviously, like the return, not what people expect. I've seen a lot of bad takes about the trade. This was just the pure salary dump. They didn't care what they got back. They just wanted to get off of the contract. And we talked in early April about Devers and his double shoulder injuries last year, both shoulder injuries, which shut him down in the second half, or shut him down in September. He was awful in the second half of last season, 95 WRC plus, had an OPS in the low 700s, and he was not hitting the ball at all in September, didn't homer in September. Had shoulder soreness in both shoulders over the winter, got a delayed start to spring training due to said shoulder soreness after taking multiple months off, got off to an awful start to start this year. And on June 1st, or on April 1st, if the Red Sox had waived Rafael Devers, I'm not sure if a single team would have picked him up. Coming off of the second half of last season, looking like he couldn't hit the ball, being completely out of sync to start this year, legitimately, until he got back to form and was able to post a 900 OPS for a month and a half, 2 months, I don't think another team would have claimed him and that $300 million contract, because it has the likelihood, not even the probability, the extreme likelihood of being such an albatross over the final 5 to 7 years of that deal. It is just not worth it from a business perspective unless you're willing to eat about $150 to $200 million of that contract on years where you do not expect him to meet that production, in exchange for right now you need the production, and right now you think you can be a World Series contender, and therefore we're going to eat that money for the next 3 years in order to have him for the next 10. So like I said, business perspective, Red Sox probably delighted to get off of that contract. It wasn't signed under the current regime. He was signed under Chaim Bloom. I'd imagine Breslow didn't want him around. Not, forget all the difficulty with the front office stuff. Like, he's just clogging a hole as a $300 million DH and removing your roster flexibility when you have all of these kids coming up to the big leagues. Now, you can debate whether they should have signed Alex Bregman. Knowing this, Devers is one of the worst defenders in the sport. Not one of the worst defensive third basemen in the sport, one of the worst defenders, period, in this sport. He is second last in defensive runs saved among third basemen over the past 3 years. Only Alec Boehm has been worse, but he's basically cost the Red Sox 2.5 wins in terms of just his defense over the past 3 seasons. So great business move, terrible. Like, could not imagine worse timing in terms of a PR perspective. My only thought as to the justification on the timing is what I just said in regard to April 1st. I think there's a chance that the Red Sox were like, if he has a slump like he had in the second half of last year, in the second half of this year, we're not going to be able to move the contract ever, because then he's done it twice and it's repeatable, and he's shown, hey, the shoulders are going to be an issue going forward. So I think, now that he's hitting peak value, right, like he looks like he did previously, I think this is what they perceived as the best moment to trade him, potentially. And that's why they did it now, just after sweeping the Yankees. I could not imagine worse timing, because you basically just killed the season. And also you have to consider something else too. Garrett Crochet is not guaranteed to be healthy next year or whenever you invest more money into this team, right? Right now you have a fully healthy Cy Young candidate who's one of the best pitchers on the planet. If you get to the postseason with a guy like that, that alone almost gives you a chance. So yeah, the timing is awful, but the only justification I can think of is they were panicked that if he slumped a little bit, they wouldn't be able to get off the contract, where right now they could.